everyone, Jennifer Roque here from stampcampwithjen.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Summerfield, Florida. Today is day 3 of our Stamp Camp Recap Week. Yay! This is the final project that we made at my in-person stamp camp in my home for July 2020. Before we get started, I just want to do a bonus days reminder. Bonus days are wrapping up here. We only have a few more days. August 3rd is the last day to earn those bonus days coupons. And for every $50 you spend before tax and shipping, you'll earn a bonus days coupon. And then when you shop with me, you also get a campfire badge. And if you really want to maximize your savings when you shop with me, I would suggest maybe spending $100 if you can afford it, and you'll get 2 bonus days coupons, which will be a total of $10, and 2 campfire badges, and you'll get my monthly free gift, which for July are these gorgeous gilded gems. These are going to be great for Christmas projects. I love them. Obviously, you can see I've used quite a bit of them in my package here. So go ahead and head on over. Make sure you use my monthly host code, which is posted here, and you'll be able to see it throughout the video. And when you use that host code, you earn that free gift if your order is at least $75 before tax and shipping. Okay, so on to the project. We are going to make this cute little milk carton, and it actually uses these clear treat boxes. They slide out of the bottom, and I put some of those little soft peppermints, and this was just adorable. I loved it. So you just slide that right in the base. This would be a great little party favor for a Christmas party, a little gift for a friend or neighbor around the holidays. I just thought it was great. I love these little clear treat boxes, and I have so many of them, and I was trying to think, what can I make with those? I didn't want to just wrap it in paper. I've seen a lot of people do that, and they're really cute, but I wanted to find some way to top it and make it like a 3D object. So I've seen a lot of milk cartons. A lot of people have various sizes that they use and things like that. So I really liked this idea as like a topper for our clear treat box. So because it is a topper for this clear treat box, the dimensions are a little, are very specific because they have to fit snugly over this, but we'll go over that in a second. So the set that we're using, it's actually not the whole set. We're just using the stamp set for this So Very Merry, but I do have the bundle I wanted to show you guys. I think this is going to be a really popular item, so if you really want this, I would order it first because I have a feeling it's going to go on back order very quickly. But this is the Warm Hug Suite that comes, it's towards the front of the catalog on page, I think it's 11 or 10, and these have the dies that coordinate with these stamps. For this one, we're using the So Very Merry, but I love all of these sentiments. You're the marshmallows to my cocoa, I think is great. You can make these little tag labels here that'll go, and these punch out perfectly with it. You could even punch out, you know, you have the little coffee cup, heart, Christmas tree star, candy canes. I mean, it's just a great set. It's going to be really versatile. So I highly recommend this set. And like I said, if you want it, I would order it as one of your first items because I really think it's going to go on back order quickly. It's going to be really popular. And then another new item we're using from the mini holiday catalog are these wonderful gems. You can kind of see they sparkle. There's a red and then like a clear with gold flecks on the inside. We're going to use the red ones today, but they're just beautiful. Okay, so let's get started here. So we have our cherry cobbler base. This is 4 inches by 8 3/4 inches. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer. I use this all the time for scoring. Remember, the dark handle is the cutting blade. We don't want that. We want the light gray for the scoring, okay? So in the landscape position, which is long ways, we are going to score. Let's see, make sure you guys can see here. At 2 in this very first little notch right there, 2 1/16 is where we're gonna score. Again, very specific because we got to make sure that that treat box is gonna fit snugly inside. Okay, so score really good there. And then we're gonna move it down to 4 1/8, which is the second notch after the 4. Okay, score really good. I'm gonna swing my trimmer arm out here. And we're gonna do 6 3/16. So this one's a little bit trickier to see, but if you look, 1, 2, this first little notch in the gray area right here is where you want to line it up for 3/16. That's really the hardest one to find and line up, but it's not so bad once you know where to look. Okay, and then we're going to move down to 8 1/4, which is probably the easiest one for this one. Okay, now we are going to move it into portrait position, and we're going to score at 2 inches. And 3 1/2. Okay. Make sure I got it good. Okay. So there we have all of our score marks. Okay, I'm going to actually fold on all the score lines and burnish with my bone folder because it just makes it easier to see, especially when you have like this dark cardstock that's really hard to see when you fold on your score lines and burnish everything. It just makes everything to see. And for this next part, you really want to be able to see where you're scoring because we're going to use a ruler to make some score lines. And this really honestly comes together really quick. The longest part is the scoring, but once you get everything together, you'll be good to go. Okay, so now you want to have the short side over to the right of you. And these squares right here is where we are going to make our next score lines, okay? Bring our paper trimmer back in one more time. I think I told you we were done, but not quite. So here's the little trick for this. So you want this edge of your box where we're going to score in the middle. You want this to line up on the 1 inch line right here. Okay, so I'll move it up so you can see it's lined up at 1 inch. Now we're going to take our bone folder and just score to that first horizontal score line right here. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing on this box, which, see, it's the one closest to the short side over here, and then the third box, 1 2 3. So 1 and 3 we're going to score like that. So again, your score line is lined up to the 1 inch mark, and we're just scoring down to that first horizontal score line. Now, we are going to take a ruler, not measuring anything, we just want it for the straight line. So now what we want to do is we want to score a line from here to from the corner to the score line up there. And you can just use your bone folder. Oops, if I can score evenly there. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, corner to score line. And just use your bone folder and that'll be enough. Okay? And do the same thing here. Line it up. Use your bone folder. And what this does is this just makes those little pockets for the top of the carton. I'll show you here in a second. Perfect. So now you can kind of help these along by pushing along the score line, right? And what this will do is when you put it all together, which we're going to do in just a second, it will make that top, and it makes those little indentations for the top of your box, okay? So now what we want to do, while we have it flat, it's easier to do it this way, is go ahead and we are going to decorate real quick. So I have 3 pieces of plaid pattern DSP. This is from the Plaid Tidings DSP that's in the new catalog as well. These are 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and then I have a small piece, it's 1 1/4 by 1 3/4, and that's going to be at the top up here behind our sentiment. So what we're going to do is just take our stamp and seal, and I'm going to bring in my silicone mat just to make sure. See, I love the back of this too. This would be great for Halloween. They have so many great patterns on that paper. I ordered that right away. I am mad for plaid, as they say, and I was so excited when I saw that plaid paper in there. They had a plaid paper pack last year and for Christmas, I remember, and I was so excited about that. I ordered it. I still have some pieces that I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with, but I definitely won't give it away because I love plaid paper and I will keep it all year round. And I will always find something to put plaid on, especially in the fall. I think fall and plaid and pumpkins, all that stuff. I'm getting really excited about the fall season and fall coming up. So we have our 3 panels. Now we're going to do the last one. Remember, stamp and seal. If it's not catching, just move your finger until it goes over your roller, and then apply even pressure. Move your applicator so it's straight up and pull. And that honestly, and you can also use this silicone mat to pull it forward as well if it's not catching. Okay. And now we have the panels all decorated right here. Okay. So now we are going to take our tear and tape. It's such a strong hold adhesive. I really like using tear and tape or liquid glue. You could use liquid glue, I guess, but I don't know. I think for this, you don't really need it moving around so much. So I would just use the tear and tape so it holds and it's there and you don't have to worry about getting off center. So I'm going to use my spatula on my take your pick to pull up the tear and tape backing. Okay, so this is important too. So when you close this, so you want to fold this first section with the short edge on the left, fold that over, and then fold the section all the way to the right. Just fold it over right on top of there, okay? And that'll make it exactly the size that you need it to be. All right? Okay, so this is our front. We're gonna close the topping right here. And then we're just gonna take a stapler. Any stapler will do. And it's a little difficult. You have to try to get it as low as you can, but you can get it, I promise. Oh, that one didn't work. Not the best example, but that's okay. Sometimes you have to do it a couple times just to make sure. There we go. If it doesn't go, sometimes it won't go all the way through. You just use your fingers and make it work. But that, you don't really need the opening to stay open with like a clip or anything because it's just your topper for your clear box. So we're gonna staple that closed. All right, so I already went ahead and stamped and die cut our sentiment. So the sentiment again is the So Very Merry from the Warm Hug stamp set. It's a fun stamp set. I stamped this in shaded spruce, and then I used my stitched labels dies, and I use this one up here. It's not the smallest one, it's kind of like the second smallest one to cut out this piece, okay? So now we're gonna take our beautiful gems from the new catalog. And this is another good use for this little spatula piece. So I always like to use this when I'm doing any sort of gems or picking up anything small and sticky, because it's easy to just grab it with your spatula and then you lay it down where you want it and kind of use your finger, just press it on there. It's so pretty. And then we're going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals and just one for each side. And then we're gonna put that on the box here. Now, ribbon. I grabbed this striped ribbon and I didn't realize before I used it to make this project. This is actually retired from last year. So if you don't have this, it's not a big deal. You can get this metallic edge ribbon and you can color it with a shaded spruce Stampin' Blend or a Stampin' Right marker, or even use a sponge dauber and daub the ink onto the ribbon and make your own green and gold ribbon that way. So this is still current, so this will be in the product showcase for this project. But you can get this. It's metallic edge ribbon, 3/8 inch wide, and it has the gold. There's a silver version, I think, as well that you can get, but that's a great way you can go ahead and you know, make your own ribbon. You can make it any color you want. So that's actually a really good idea to get something like that, because then you can make it really versatile, really make it match whatever project that you're making. Oh, so to do a ribbon, I know I have a lot of people who ask me all the time, how do you make your ribbon? So this is honestly a lot like tying your shoes. So you just do a bow, you loop it around, you take your finger and stick it in that little hole right there where my thumb is, and then you just tie it, and then you just tighten it, loosen it, and make it how big you need it for your project. And then we're going to trim it. There we go. And then I'm going to take a glue dot. So this, actually, a lot of people in my class really like this. I got this idea from a friend who I used to go to her stamp camp classes back when I lived in Maryland, and she had this dispenser. It looks a lot like a tape dispenser. You can get it at Michael's. I really like it a lot for my glue dots. I use it all the time. People are always asking me, where'd you get that? So yeah, we have our little glue dot. You can kind of see it right there on the back of the ribbon, and then we're just going to use that to cover that ugly staple. Okay, so there we have our box cover. So now for the treat box, I just want to show you real quick. These clear tiny treat boxes, they come with 16 in a package, and they come like this, all flat, and they also come with instructions that show you how to put it together. So they all come with this clear covering that you have to remove. I think that's just to keep it from getting scratched or scuffed. And then what you want to do is you want to bend all of these score lines on the box. Everywhere you see a line, you need to bend it just to make sure that you have tight creases. Everything will bend easily after that. And it'll just be easier to move everything around, and it won't be kind of odd shaping. Okay, so for the box, as we can see, we're going to take this piece with the opening and put that down, and then take our sides and put that above there, and then you take this piece in the middle and you put that in the bottom, and there's your box. And now we're going to close it. I'm not going to put any peppermints in here, but you can put whatever you want in here. You can make a fall one and put little pumpkin candies in here. That would be really cute. Okay. And there you go. You have your little So Very Merry milk carton treat box. Well, I hope you have really enjoyed this project today, and I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to stop by and watch my Stamp Camp recap. If you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and go on my YouTube channel or on my blog, and you can catch the other 2 projects that we did in Stamp Camp for this month. Beautiful cards, beautiful techniques. So if you need any of the supplies for today's project, I hope you'll purchase them in my online store, and don't forget to use this host code. And don't forget that you can get the Gilded Gems with a qualifying order of $75 or more. Beautiful. But you have to use that host code. Make sure to use it. And even if you don't reach the $75, If you use the host code, it helps me earn Stampin' Rewards to get great products to do giveaways like blog candy and things like that. So really, if you could use my host code as much as you can, I'd appreciate it. And don't forget that bonus days is ending soon. You only have a few more days left to earn those coupons. So August 3rd, don't forget about that. Thank you again for joining me today. And if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you never miss a video. I'll have all of the dimensions for this project in the description on my YouTube channel as well as in my blog post. All right, well, thanks for joining me, and until next time, stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Happy stamping, campers. Bye.